I'm gonna do a little light reading today. I have the recipe book in my hands right now. We are not using Pinterest today. We are not using the internet. We're going old school and using a book made by a YouTuber. And so we're gonna make some Pop-Tarts. I thought it would be a fun treat, not only to consume and devour all of at once, but also to make with our own hands, probably really poorly. So that's what we're gonna attempt to do today. I have had a lot of fun making kind of my own version of snacks. The Oreos was fun, the chips, Cheez-Its, all that. I thought it was time to do another dessert version of that. And so Pop-Tarts seemed, I don't know, kind of like the perfect option. This is a breakfast slash treat slash pastry that I really don't have much experience eating just because I can't eat gluten. I don't know if you guys knew that because I definitely don't talk about it every single video I make. But I thought, I mean, look at these. These are really pretty. Ours are definitely not gonna look like this, but you know, we can go for it. Shoot for the stars, because if you miss, you'll come up short and then fall really, really far. And then the stars will laugh at you while you fall. So let's get started. So this is gonna require us to make some semblance of like a puff pastry sort of dough, which I believe inevitably always goes wrong for me, but that's fine because our expectations are way down low. So ain't nobody gonna get disappointed today. You're gonna need 2 cups of raspberries. I have blueberries. So we're gonna use blueberries, and that's gonna actually create our filling. So this is gonna be our raspberry filling. But you're also gonna need all of these other ingredients. You're gonna need, in addition to the raspberries, sugar and lemon juice for the filling. You're gonna need some flour, some ice cold water, some confectioner's sugar, some salt, and then of course you're gonna need your sprinkles. Let's gather our ingredients, and the first step is to cook our filling. So we're gonna get our hot plate and reduce these berries along with some sugar and lemon juice to make it sort of like a puree. And then we're gonna strain it through a sieve, and then we're gonna set that aside. That'll be our filling for later. This should make 8 tarts. So I think we're gonna have 16 squares of Pop-Tart pastry dough. Why are things making noise? So let's just get started. Let's get butchering. You look good today, by the way. Okay, this is not a saucepan, but we're gonna use it for sauce. I don't know what heat, medium heat. Okay, all of our blueberries are in. Now we're gonna add all of our sugar. The recipe contains approximately 0 calories and our lemon juice. I know what a saucepan is, I promise. Just, I want you guys to be able to see it, and you know, I'm a one-man band over here, okay? I can't make everything perfect, so sacrifices will have to be made. We're gonna let this reduce down and kind of turn into a puree. Basically what we want to do for this is we want to get it like a little bit simmery and bubbling, and then we're going to strain it once, simmer for like 5 more minutes, and then strain it one more time, put it in the fridge, and then we're done. Also, I really hope that the blueberries don't ruin everything because they're not raspberries, but sometimes, you know, if you're a berry, just be a berry, you know, just stop about the semantics, just be a berry. I don't care what kind. I don't really know if anything I'm doing has an effect right now, but I'm doing it. Actually, the color is coming out like nice and purple. I don't feel like I should be like mashing this. I mean, that's how I feel with every recipe. Let's just do this, because it's gonna be a puree anyway. Wow, the insides of blueberries are not as pretty as the outsides of them. I'm shallow when it comes to blueberries. By the way, shout out to our neighbor who was able to snag some of these berries, because as you guys know, we don't have any fresh produce in the house. This is definitely a bit of a delicacy for us. All right, so now I'm currently straining the filling mixture and trying to get as much of it through the sieve so that we can have a good amount of filling for all of our Pop-Tarts. And we're gonna try to like push through some of like the pulp pieces. I think what it really calls for the sieve for is so that seeds don't make it in, but we're using blueberries, so that's not an issue. In fact, I don't even know that we should be straining this completely because it's just very liquidy and there's no seeds to worry about. So I kind of want to just nix this. Yeah, we're gonna nix it. We're just gonna put it all in and put it back in the pot. and hopefully not spill everything. Alrighty. I feel like this is kind of a perfect consistency and texture, and it looks the way I believe it's supposed to at this stage. So I know you're thinking to yourself, first of all, this guy has no idea what he's doing, and you'd be right in that part. But you might also be thinking to yourself, it looks a little too watery to be a filling in a Pop-Tart, and it's true. But what will happen, I believe, is as we let it cool in this bowl, it will thicken. So in like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, whenever we have the rest of our ingredients ready to go, that won't be quite as liquidy, and it will be much more conducive to being a filling in a Pop-Tart rather than just like a watery mess that I've created right now. One quick thing to do before we completely set this aside is take 1/4 of a teaspoon, and you're gonna take 4/4 and set it aside. And this is gonna be used for the frosting. Definitely don't take a regular teaspoon and do it once. You're gonna wanna do 4 separate 1/4 scoopings. I'm wondering if we need our mixer or not. Let me read my book. Hold on one sec. It says do not overmix. Maybe we don't use the stand mixer. So let's just get a bowl. We're gonna combine the flour, all-purpose flour, a little bit of sugar we have, which I believe is 1 tablespoon, and the salt. And we're gonna mix this all together. Reminder that this is all gonna fall apart. Whatever happens, happens, and if it tastes good, it's a win. And there's no calories. All right, so I have 1/2 cup of vegan butter and 1/2 cup of vegetable shortening because I didn't have enough butter. So we're gonna use, and this has been in the fridge, so you're gonna want it to be cold. So I guess we are gonna use our, what is this called? Not a stand mixer, I'm thinking of something else. What is this called? Our not stand mixer is going to be used just for the butter. Our blendy thing is gonna be used just for the butter. So I'm gonna put this in here. What's a pastry blender? Is that what that is? No, that has a different name. Why can't I think of it? All right. We're gonna want to be kind of gentle with this, but we're gonna fold the butter in, and we want it to be in like smaller bits, like little cubes. And I think the texture should be kind of a nice halfway between wet and dry before we add the water. So here's the part where we need to create a little well in the center, and we need to pour a 1/2 cup of ice cold water. Now we need to fold. And we fold, and we fold. This shouldn't be wet. This shouldn't be like wet dough, and it also shouldn't be super crumbly. It's somewhere in the middle. So it's just about kind of trying to find that perfect consistency, which I won't find, but maybe you will. It smells good. I mean, it smells like buttery pastry dough. So now I think what we have to do is take some plastic wrap, and we want to let this sit for 15 minutes or a day. I don't know, baking is confusing. Get all over the sides.
What's making?
I'm making Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts?
Pop-Tarts. All right, now it is time for the pain and suffering, watching our dough completely fall apart while we try to make these Pop-Tarts. So the dough has been refrigerating for 15 minutes, and I actually flattened it into sort of a disc because that is what the recipe calls for. And as you can tell, it's completely already falling apart, but that's okay. And we're gonna try to use our floured work surface to roll this out into about 1/4 inch thick, I think. You know how I feel about rolling pins. I hate them and they scare me. But there's a reason for that, and you guys have seen the reason firsthand, is that when I use a rolling pin, everything just goes to shit. So we are just gonna try to shape this with our hands because, you know, shake what your mama gave you, right? Is that what, right? That's about baking. Fuck it. You know what? You want this, I'll do it. Oh God. Oh, Grace. All right, we really have to flour this thing up. Oh, Grace, it's already falling apart. Everything's fine. Everything's great, actually. We might not be able to make 8. The recipe says it makes 8. This actually is shaped like Africa a little bit. So we're gonna start up here, go straight down. That should make 1.5 Pop-Tarts. Okay, so this is actually looking so good, dude. I just fetched our filling from the fridge. I used the fridge to cool it because it wasn't really cooling fast enough at room temp. Anyway, I'm going to use this spatula to try to gently place these Pop-Tarts onto our baking sheet without letting them break, which they desperately want to do. I'm gonna also try to keep it tidy on the edges. Y'all, we're almost there. This is when we're gonna scoop a little bit of filling onto the center of our Pop-Tart. That looks good. About like 3/4 of a tablespoon looks to be the right amount. We're supposed to be leaving some space on the edge, and I'm not doing that, so maybe a little less filling. Okay, I literally used maybe 1/5 of the filling. You're gonna use this water to just pour it on top of everything and leave. No, you're gonna use it to seal the edges. So you wanna wet the edges before you place the top down. Here we go. I'm gonna take spatula and try to seal one of our Pop-Tarts. So we're gonna press down on the edges. What you wanna do, in addition to pressing on the edges, is get a fork so you can crimp. This is painful. This is just so painful. I'm not gonna lie, I hate this. Watching our dough just completely crumble at every step. This recipe absolutely is about the destination, not the journey. Journey sucks. All right, our oven right now is preheated to 425, and we're just about ready to cook these suckers. All right, well, while we let the Pop-Tarts get nice and cold before we bake them, I'm gonna make the frosting. So you're gonna need a teaspoon of the filling. So I'm gonna do 1/3 of a tablespoon. And then you're gonna do 1.5 tablespoons of non-dairy milk. And then all this confectioner's sugar, like all of it. So take the tiniest whisk you could find, and this should turn into like a purple, nice frosting to make them nice and Pinteresty. There we go. Frosting is ready. All right, well, here we have our almost finished Pop-Tarts. They are just about cooled. They're like room temperature right now. They've been sitting for like 20 minutes since I took them out of the oven, both on the counter and the fridge. I'm just trying to get them nice and cool. But dude, you know what? Like, they actually turned out not the worst. They're holding together. You know, we just kind of had to get them in the oven, and then the baking does the rest. So we have our frosting, which I filtered once more, so there's no little blueberry bits in here. And we're just gonna put the frosting and some sprinkles to make this a complete, Pop-Tart time. Me looking for anyone still laughing at that joke. The Pop-Tarts are done, my dude. These are finished. They turned out medium good, and we're gonna try them now. Now for my try guest. Wait, you're just coming in hot like that? All right, fine. Do you wanna know what we made? No, you just wanna eat it? Okay, here we go.
Okay, what? Oh.
Is it good?
That the crust really frustrates you, but the texture is so like flaky. The filling, amazing. Haven't had fresh fruit in so long. The sprinkles, incredible.
We're owning.
Oh, babe, that's really good.
Took a lot of patience, a lot of steps, but we got here.
Oh, that's so good. Sorry, I just left my body. I'm gonna go.
You want one more bite? You're really cute when you bite into a Pop-Tart.
Oh, it's so good.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
The puff pastry actually turned out like way better than I thought it would. Well, that one went quick. Listen, honest review, 10 out of 10. Absolutely fucking delicious. It's decadent, it's rich, it tastes like just a desserty, fluffy breakfast pastry. And it's so overindulgent and I love it. It's really good. Dude, it is so good. Have a bite, here you go. Like, it almost looks cartoonish with
It's
the
so
colors.
good. I've never had. Sorry, I filled my water. Can I fill up my water? Stop! I'm not peeing. I swear.
Jen is peeing off camera.
Filling up my water. Can you imagine peeing this way? All right, I'm done peeing.
Okay, she's done peeing. I love the aesthetics of them. Like, they look very Pop-Tarty. I don't know, like colorful,
I've never had a
fluffy.
homemade Pop-Tart before. So good.
Well, I have to give one to our neighbor because they provided us with the blueberries. But
I
dude,
don't think they like gluten-free flour though.
nobody does. It's like dropping a steaming bag of shit on someone's doorstep.
I like gluten-free flour. If you're gluten-free, I'm gluten-free.
That's my girl right there. My bitch.
They came out really good, Julie.
Well, there it is. That's our Pop-Tart recipe. It took a while, but sometimes mediocrity takes a while. And you know, if you follow the recipe as much as you feel like I did, they'll turn out pretty good. You versus the dude they tell you not to worry about. No, this cookbook is awesome. So shouts out Hot for Food. I had fun making it. Go give it a shot. Tweet me your pictures. I want to see them. And you know what? Just keep doing it to them. Keep doing it to them in quarantine. All right. Keep making good things and staying busy and laying around and watch Netflix. Do whatever you want. Just do it to them. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Peachy up. Do you like pastries? Do you like pastries? The cleanup crew has arrived. Time for us to go. All right, Zamboni. Do your worst, janitor.